Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song Slow Learner by Viagra Boys. As usual, this song comes to you as a request from one of my viewers. So if you want to get your song reviewed, just do what they did. Leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to add it to my list. So I've heard exactly 4 songs by Viagra Boys so far, 3 of which I've done here on the channel. I did Sports, which I love. One of my favorite songs, honestly, that I've probably ever heard on the channel. And I don't remember if that's what I said about it when I first listened to it, but damn, do I love that song. Followed by Troglodyte and Ain't No Thief. All 3 of which, again, are like in my regular rotation. I listen to them all the time. And so, again, it's a pretty small sample. And I forgot to mention the 4th song I've heard from Viagra Boys is their cover of In Spite of Ourselves. I think John Prine's In Spite of Ourselves, which is just kind of a fun little cover from them. So those are the 4 songs I've heard, and I heard that one just kind of on my own. But I know that's a pretty small sample from this band, but from that small sample, like, I really enjoyed this band. So when I saw another request for Viagra Boys with Slow Learner, I was like, yeah, I got to take that one. So anyway, let's jump in. Viagra Boys, Slow Learner. I did grab this version, which kind of looks like maybe a what's the word I'm looking for? It looks sort of like a music video, just because it had the most views. I mean, the official audio only had like a few thousand views. This one has 2.1 million. So I figured this might be the ultimate version of the song to experience. So anyway, let's jump in. Here we go. Viagra Boys, Slow Learner. Let's do it. I loved that so much. Like, oh man, I'm telling you, Viagra Boys, they're shooting up to the top of my list right now. They're fun. They're a really fun band. Um, so here's what I want to say. To me, I think I'm glad I watched the video because it was set obviously in like this sort of like dingy like dive bar pool hall type location, which I thought was so fitting because I felt like this song was very reminiscent of something you would hear from like George Thorogood and the Destroyers, or from like the Jay Giles band, or from Huey Lewis and the News, all three of which are to me like reminiscent of things that you would hear like in a pool hall. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you listen to that kind of music, you're like, yeah, I want to be in a smoky pool hall with a bunch of alcohol and a bunch of shady looking guys with a bunch of tattoos and muscle shirts on and whatever. And I want to be listening to a song that sounds like this. You know what I mean? So, and even though I think it really sort of paid uh, homage to like those type of bands, of course it still has that like Viagra Boys kind of spin to it, that sort of griminess, that sort of tongue-in-cheek style that I think I really love from them. So let's break it down like we always do, of course, starting with the lyrics. So here we go. He always sat in the back of the class. There's something wrong with his seeing eyeglass. Don't have no future, no, he ain't got no past. Slow learner, you know he don't live fast. He is relaxed. You know, as a former teacher, I don't know yet if this is like a criticism of maybe the education system and how we write off kids who, again, maybe take a little bit longer to catch up, or if it is a sort of critique of the type of kid who doesn't really have anything going for them. Um, but as I was gonna say, like as a former teacher, this to me is reminiscent of kids I've taught. Although I don't, I'll be the first to say I would never say that a kid that has no future, right? Like that is just not something I believe in. You know, every kid is hopefully, you know, knock on wood, going to grow up, right? And so at some point they're gonna have to contend with whatever is in front of them. So I mean, every kid has a future that ultimately we have to prepare them for. But so that's why I'm like, yeah, is it rallying sort of against those teachers who write off those type of kids, or is it sort of a condemnation of those type of kids? You know, I don't know. Let's keep reading. Slow learner, know nothing about history, don't care for politics. He don't know how to read. He don't get stressed. He don't get stressed out. He need to take it easy. He don't need no friends. He don't need sex, no TV. Slow learner. He was in high school till he was 22, until they told him you need to do some. You need something else to do. He packed his school books and he moved to the street, and now he sits there. Slow learner is happy. Slow learner is happy. Yeah, the more I read it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is a condemnation of that kind of person. Which again, like as I'm reading the lyrics, there are like children who sat in my classroom, who I'm like thinking about in my head right now. Because yeah, it very much like you meet those kids who just have no aspirations. They see absolutely no value in education or in learning. Um, they sit in the back of the class. They don't really care about anything. They really care about is kind of taking it easy, right? Which is not to say that again that kind of kid has no future. Again, I think someone like that sometimes they turn it around once they get to middle school, high school, hell, college, or when they enter the workforce. Sometimes they get that kick in the ass that they're like, oh, maybe I should kind of do something with my life. So I don't want to go too hard, especially on like children who just simply don't know any better. I think, and this is maybe taking a bit of a tangent here, but I just feel like when I think of children like this, and I think of these kids who sat in my class who were like this, what really makes me angry as a teacher are those parents, because you would talk to the parents about this kid like, hey, your kid just like doesn't try. They don't seem to care. They don't care about anything except for just skidding on by. And you learn that it's the parents who enable these type of things. The parents also don't feel like, pushing their children to anything greater. They don't feel like uh, that this sort of behavior or these sort of lack of ambition is any sort of problem, right? And I guess in their mind, it's okay if their kid just never grows up or aspires to be anything, because they'll always be there to take care of them or something like that. I don't know necessarily what always goes through the head of these parents, but ultimately, despite how difficult it can be to work with kids sometimes, ultimately it's the parents who make it difficult, because they are supposed to be part of your support system, and when they don't give a fuck, it's very obvious in the students that you try to teach. So, sidebar. Anyway, let's keep going on these lyrics. He always sat in the back of the class. There's something wrong with his seeing eyeglass. Don't have no future. No, he ain't got no past. A slow learner. He don't live fast. He is relaxed. Slow learner. Slow learner. Slow learner. He learns 100 words an hour. Slow learner. So yeah, I think it's a condemnation of that type of person. Which again, I think you need to put that on the parents. But that's just me. Anyway, I think lyrically, very relatable to me, I guess, with the profession that I've chosen. I think it's written well. I think, again, it takes that sort of smoky pool hall vibe of the music and applies this very interesting, like almost modern lyricism to it that I think is really interesting. For that, I mean, lyrically, hell, I'll give it 2 thumbs up. Why not? As far as the instrumentation and vocals go, I really like the instrumentation here. I think from the bass, which I think was really catchy, the guitar work was great. To me, again, that saxophone is what really kind of, again, takes it into that sort of pool hall territory. And then the keyboard is what really like drug it into like Jay Giles slash like Huey Lewis and the News territory. So I feel like you gotta, again, it just felt like such a perfect throwback to that style of music. And I gotta feel like they did that, of course, on purpose, right? They were trying to either pay homage or just channel that type of music. But I think they just did it so well, and it was so fun to listen to, and it was very groovy and easy to jam out to. So on top of that, I really like the guy. I don't know the lead singer's name, but I like his vocals. He's very different. He's very out there. In a song like Sports, it's very like spoken word, except for when he just starts screaming and rolling around on the floor and stuff. Whereas in a song like Troglodyte, it's a little bit more straightforward, kind of that rock and roll sound. In Ain't No Thief, again, it goes back to kind of being a little bit more spoken word with some of those backing vocals as well. So I feel like he's thrown a few different styles at me, but I think regardless, I just like his approach vocally to every song that I've heard so far. And I think in this one, he takes a bit more of a traditional approach, again, sort of channeling that like gruff 80s like pool hall rock kind of vibe. So yeah, instrumentally, vocally, I'm giving this one 2 big thumbs up as well. As far as replay value goes, I mean, this was an instant hit for me, so for sure it is going on the playlist alongside those other great Viagra Boys songs, and I can't wait to listen to it again. So I'm gonna give it 2 big thumbs up there as well. Overall, a fantastic song and an excellent request. Thank you so much for the person who requested this one. As always, if you enjoyed the music as much as I did, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. And if you enjoyed what you saw here on the channel today, consider supporting the channel. Like and subscribe and comment with your requests, especially because I'm always taking those. And you can even check the description if you'd like to follow me on Twitch or Instagram. Can't say TikTok anymore. It is officially banned in the United States. I tried to open it yesterday. Just did not work. So Twitch or Instagram's all you got so far, for now, I guess. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.